Hey witches, I thought we would talk today about dandelions. I notice that my yard is about 60% dandelions and then 20% clovers and then some grass here and there. And that's my backyard. We have sod in the front, so we don't get many friends like dandelions in the front, but the back is loaded with them. And before my husband cuts the grass, I plan to go out and get a huge bouquet of them and bring them in and put them on a Kate's altar. And then when they dry, I'll put them in, usually just cut the little flowers off and then put them in a Ziploc bag. You can dry them in the oven, very low temp, for just a few minutes, and they'll dry out. And then save them and use them for some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. So dandelions, okay, they have tons of magical uses, and they also have some mundane uses that you might be interested in. The word dandelion comes from a French word, Dandelions. I took a lot of French. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, but it's spelled like dent-de-lion. So what that means is tooth of the lion. And I think part of that, part of that is because of the shape of like the roots. They're kind of, pointy. And also the leaves have some, kind of pointy edges on them. And the yellow part, the flower part, looks like a little lion's mane. If you looked at it and stuck some like little googly eyes on there, it would look like a lion. I think that's why they're called, why they have the word lion in it mainly. I think because it looks like a little lion head. Anyway, these beautiful flowers, not weeds. They're not weeds, they're flowers. But they're associated with lots of ideas and magical attributes. They're associated with courage, wisdom, joy, love, creativity, bravery, confidence, divination, spiritual plane, and connecting to that spiritual plane, the astral plane, transitioning, moving on, strength, sun magic, clarity, the underworld, of course, luck, wishing, cleansing, new beginnings, banishment, abundance, dreams, and there are probably more out there, but those were the main ones that I found that stuck out to me. You could probably adapt a dandelion into any type of working. So anyway, dandelions, I found this little fact about them, that they are 30 million years old. They have been on this planet for 30 million years. That's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me that they have been here for so long, which I don't know about other flowers. I might do some research and see, like how that compares to other flowers, but that would be a different topic. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you have them in your yard and your husband is about to cut the grass, or your wife is about to cut the grass, or you're about to cut the grass, go out there and pluck some. Don't let them get all smushed by the lawnmower, please. Promise me you'll do that. They have so many magical properties, and they can be used in so many different ways. So please don't do that. Okay. So I'm going to list some of the uses of dandelions. And I watched a couple of YouTube videos And some of them had, some of the uses, but there were a lot that were lacking. So hopefully this will help. So you can use them as offerings for deities. Definitely Hecate. And they're also connected to Aphrodite. But in general, flowers are usually a good offering for a deity. So you can leave them for, on your altar, just to leave them there, just to have an earth element on your altar. Don't forget to put them in water. You don't want them to die. But you can also leave them for the woodland spirits. You can leave them outside in a cute little vase, with maybe a lit candle, like make a fairy candle and put it beside there, and leave that for them. And that would be something cute to do, especially if you had children, to do that outdoors with them and say you're leaving them for the fairies. I do that with my daughter a lot, with all kinds of stuff. She likes to make potions and leave rocks for the fairies, and she's always wanted to leave stuff for the fairies, so we do. So next, dandelions can definitely be used in sun magic for creativity and clarity. They look like a little friggin' sun. So of course they're going to be used in that way. You can also use them in weather spells when you want sunshine. So when you want it to be sunny, do a weather spell. There are some online. I took one and adapted it to my own, and it worked, and it was awesome. It's one of my favorite spells. But I didn't use dandelions. I used daisies and calendula and a couple of other flowers, roses. But I didn't use any dandelions because my husband had just cut the grass and I didn't make it out there in time to get them. So I think I used a couple of dried out ones that I had left for Hecate. And since it was from my child's party, they were charged with her maternal energy and that energy that she has for the love of children. Hecate is protectress of women, children, and dogs are the three things that she is most protective of. So I felt like that gave it a little bit of oomph. But they were dried out and little meh dandelions. But I would have loved to have a big bouquet of nice fresh ones to have used in that spell. But didn't matter apparently because it worked. So anyway, sun magic, weather magic. You can also create a dandelion salve that's supposed to knock out pain. There's different ways of making it. You can just look it up online or look up a YouTube video, dandelion salve. I've never tried it, but I will try it next time my knee starts to hurt because I sure have plenty of dandelions in my yard. So next, what you could do and what I've done is press some in your BOS, and it'll give your Book of Shadows like a boost of positivity and solar energy and a touch of nature. I would make a whole page about dandelions, which I've done this in one of my older ones. But it has, I think, 3 dandelions that I pressed and then hot glued them onto the page from the back of the flower. And then just listed, what they're for, how we do in our Books of Shadows. And it's a really cute page. And that nature being in there just connects your Book of Shadows. It connects it to the elements even more. It's just a wonderful thing to do. I even have my moon water page where I actually sprinkled some moon water on the page where I talk about moon water, just to put some water in my book. And it's a little wrinkly, but that's okay. So next, what we have is that as long as they are pesticide free, okay, you can eat all parts of the dandelion. Every part is edible. The roots, the flowers, the leaves, the stems. Just wash them with just water, not soap, but wash them. You can eat them raw if you wanted to. You can boil it. You can make tea. You could add it to stews. But they're edible. Okay, but make sure that they're pesticide free. Because even if you wash it, you don't want that stuff in your body. It's going to block your third eye and make you possibly really sick too. So don't do that. Some of the things that you can do with them, like health things, is that they're diuretic. So if you're trying to lose some water weight, you could do some dandelion tea to help you. They're like the best diuretic because they don't overly dehydrate you. And then the tea is also said to help with liver function. Those are the mundane uses, okay? Another mundane use is that the sap on the stem can be used to cure warts. We need that, right? Because as witches, don't we all have big giant warts on our face and on our noses, right? So we definitely need some fucking sap from dandelions to get rid of our witchy warts. But seriously, if you have a child or, everybody gets a wart now and then, especially kids for some reason. I know I had one on my hand growing up in 3rd grade, and I didn't use dandelions on it, but I guess I would have if I knew this. But anyway, enough about warts. Dandelion tea, okay? The water, I like to, of course, I like to use rainwater or moon water or seawater in my workings. I would not use seawater to make tea because that could kill you. Too much salt content. But take your water and your dandelion roots, the leaves and the flowers, and then if you want to add any other divination herbs, you can, but that makes really good divination tea. And it's also called dandelion tea. But I would add some wormwood. I would add a little wormwood, maybe a little bit of lavender and mugwort to that, and a little bit of chamomile, because we learned in my witchy tea video that chamomile opens energy channels, and you want to have that energy channel open. So anyway, you can also add them to foods. I talked about that, but you can look up some cool recipes online. You can also bake with them, and you can make wine with it, with dandelions. So if you make any dandelion wine, please let me know, because I want to try it, and I have no idea how the hell to make wine. So anyway, you can look up those recipes if you're interested in that. Use dandelions in spells that bring in bravery and courage. So if you've got, and confidence too. So if you had something, you need to be brave for, you have a meeting where you're speaking, or you're facing a fear, or even if you're doing shadow work and you need some bravery to face that shadow work, you could do some dandelion tea to drink while you do that, or you could do a quick little spell, or just put some dandelions near you while you're doing your shadow work, or you could do a jar and add them to the jar. You can do little sachets or mojo bags. If you're a person that has issues with confidence, you could do a little dandelion mojo bag with a few ingredients, mainly dandelions, and carry that on you. At all times. Just get a little bitty mojo bag, the smallest size, put it in your pocket and carry that with you. So next, of course, use them in wishing spells. Okay, you have probably even recently, because you're a witch, you've picked up a dandelion seed pod head, whatever they're called, and blew it into the wind. Blew just the first one I saw. I said, asked Mother Nature if I could pluck it, of course. Plucked it, and then made my wish and blew the seeds. Just having a flashback, back to childhood me doing that. So, yeah, they're going to be used in wishing spells. And if you think about it, most spells are like wishes. So you could add the seeds to anything, to any spell, any oil, anything. You could add it to that. Also, I already said this, but place some on your altar to celebrate the spring and summer. I just said to put some on your altar to bring in the earth element, but you can do that also to celebrate spring and summer. And did you witches know that bringing dandelion bouquets into the home can rid it of negative energy and spirits? I did not know that. So bring them in, especially if somebody's about to cut the grass. Pick them all, bring them in, put them in little vases or little mason jars with water and set them around your home. You're going to get rid of that negative energy. All right. Next, tie them around your spell candles to welcome joy into an area or on your altar. So you can take a little candle and just take the whole stem and tie it around the candle. You can burn that candle. Be careful, because when it gets to the flower, we don't know what will happen. Flames are unpredictable. But you can do that as a way to welcome joy into your home, or just do that on your altar. You can also charge them that way if you're getting ready to do a spell for weather. And you could tie the dandelions around the candles. So I like that one. I thought that was interesting. And it's so pretty. So pretty. So next, the sap. I already said that one. Can cure the warts. I started talking about that earlier when we were doing mundane. But yes, we need the wart remover. You can also use leaves of the dandelion to make a tea for digestion. And I just figured if you're having indigestion and you want to make this tea, add in a little bitty pinch of pennyroyal tea if you want to, or pennyroyal, because it also helps with digestion. Only a little bit though, because it's toxic in high doses. Next, you can use a little puff for an intention, or you can use a little puff, the little seed heads, to banish. So you can wish for something and then blow it, or banish something and then blow it. So you can do either one. And I think that's cool, because it's such a multi-purpose flower. Like, I can't believe people call these things weeds. They should be picking them up and selling them instead of just spraying them with friggin' pesticides. But it's not pesticides. What is it when it's trying to kill weeds anyway? Organophosphates or whatever. They need to quit spraying poison onto these beautiful plants, beautiful flowers. Anyway, I'll shut up. You can make magical inks with dandelions. You can make a nice yellow ink with the flowers. Keep a jar of seed heads. So go just gather some, keep them in a jar, and then make wishes as needed. You can take one out and make a wish, and then just wish on that individual little seed. And like I said earlier too, you can take those little seeds and add them to other spells, because they symbolize wishes. And what is a spell? It's sort of like a wish. It's more of an intention that we put out there, but still kind of like a wish. So you keep those. Stock up on those. You can also use dandelions as a clairvoyance incense. Dry it out, put it in a mortar and pestle, get it into a nice incense powder, maybe even mix it with a resin or something that you like the smell of, and then put that in on your charcoal disc with some sand and let it go. And that can be used for clairvoyance and probably also divination. I would think that either one of those would be, great to do with that incense going. Plant one in the northwest corner of your home to bring in good fortune. So the northwest corner of your home. I wonder about my yard because I have them in every corner. But I honestly think the north is in my front yard. I do. I think the northwest would be in the front yard on the right side. I think. No, the front left by my driveway. I got to plant a dandelion today, y'all. I'm going to have to transport one. Tell my husband he can't mow over it. Anyway, that's all I have, guys. And I hope you enjoyed our little dandelion talk. I may do a demonstration about some of these things that I talked about in a different video. I've just got to stock up on dandelions before I can do that. But I couldn't wait to put this out because they're popping up everywhere. And I wanted you guys to know what you can start doing with them. So start doing these things. And let me know how they go. Just DM me on Twitter. Let me know if you have some success. And also, I need a little bit of help. I need to make it rain on a certain date for a certain reason. And I was wondering if anybody had ever done a very successful rain spell. I've done them in the past, but I want it to be not the rain comes within 2 days, but the rain comes on this date. So I'm trying to adapt my sunshine spell to a rain spell. And I was just curious if you guys had anything out there that you would be willing to share that I could take and add into what I'm already doing. So if you do, DM me on Twitter. If not, that's cool. Love you anyway. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with anybody who likes flowers. All right, witches, thank you for coming and blessed be. Bye.